The azure waters off the coast of Somalia, once teeming with life and trade, have become synonymous with a different kind of enterprise piracy. These waters, rich in history and culture, now tell a tale of desperation and conflict. Somali pirates, often portrayed as modern-day buccaneers, have captured global attention. Their daring exploits and high-seas adventures have been the subject of countless news stories and documentaries. They are both feared and, in a strange twist, romanticized. The world watches with a mix of horror and fascination as these men take to the seas. Some view them as Robin Hood-esque figures, righting the wrongs inflicted upon their nation. They are seen as defenders of their homeland, fighting against foreign exploitation. Others see them as nothing more than ruthless criminals exploiting a broken system for personal gain. Their actions, often violent and destructive, paint a darker picture. The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in between. The motivations behind piracy are complex, rooted in a mix of economic hardship, political instability, and social issues. The resurgence of Somali piracy, particularly in the last 2 years, has reignited this debate. The international community is once again focused on the waters off the Horn of Africa. The hijacking of the MV in December 2023, the first successful seizure of a merchant ship in nearly 6 years, sent shockwaves through the maritime world. Since then, more attacks, including the recent capture of the MV, have made it tragically clear that Somali piracy is back. The frequency and boldness of these attacks have increased, causing widespread concern. The question remains, what motivates these individuals to engage in such a dangerous and illegal activity? Is it sheer desperation, a quest for justice, or something else entirely? To understand the rise of Somali piracy, one must first delve into the nation's turbulent past. The collapse of Somalia's central government in 1991 left a gaping power vacuum. The country descended into chaos, its coastal waters becoming a lawless free-for-all. This lack of governance created an environment ripe for exploitation. Foreign fishing fleets, primarily from Europe and Asia, took advantage of the situation. They began illegally fishing in Somali waters, decimating fish stocks that were vital to the livelihoods of local communities. This blatant plundering, coupled with the dumping of toxic waste in Somali waters, fueled resentment and desperation among Somali fishermen. Many saw their traditional way of life vanishing before their eyes. It is against this backdrop of despair and anger that Somali piracy first emerged. The pirates often attempt to justify their actions with a narrative of righteous indignation, painting themselves as defenders of their homeland. They claim to be the protectors of Somali waters, standing against illegal fishing and toxic waste dumping. The avengers of environmental crimes committed against their nation, they say they are fighting for justice. They portray themselves as reluctant warriors, forced into action by the indifference of the world and the greed of foreign powers who exploit their resources. They argue that the ransoms they collect are used to support their families and communities, a warped form of wealth redistribution that they believe is justified. However, the reality of Somali piracy paints a far darker picture, one that is far removed from their self-proclaimed heroism. While some of the initial grievances might have been rooted in genuine concerns, the situation has long since spiraled into outright criminality and violence. Ransom demands, often reaching into the millions, are rarely used for the betterment of Somali communities, despite their claims. Instead, they primarily enrich the pirate leaders and their financiers, creating a new class of wealthy warlords who live in luxury, while their countrymen continue to suffer in poverty and neglect. The impact of Somali piracy extends far beyond the shores of the Horn of Africa, affecting global trade and security. It has become a global problem with far-reaching economic and security implications, disrupting vital shipping lanes and international commerce. The financial costs alone are staggering, with industries worldwide feeling the impact. Billions of dollars are lost annually due to increased shipping costs, insurance premiums, and the rerouting of vessels around the Cape of Good Hope to avoid pirate-infested waters. This rerouting adds significant time and expense to global shipping operations. The resurgence of piracy has also prompted a significant military response from the international community, with naval forces being deployed to protect these crucial maritime routes. Naval forces from the United States, China, Russia, and various European Union members have been deployed to the region to combat the threat, showcasing a rare instance of global cooperation. While these patrols have undoubtedly had a deterrent effect, Piracy persists, adapting to new challenges and finding ways to evade capture. The vastness of the Somali basin and the pirates' ability to adapt their tactics make them a difficult enemy to eradicate, posing an ongoing challenge for international security forces.